Why am I making this video? Trump to get another Supreme judge. Now let's take a look at the date. The date is June 24th, 2017. Now this is another Mark Taylor video. I am trying to demonstrate that apparently God is really talking to Mark Taylor, because yet again, another prophecy is beginning to come to pass that he has prophesied that he says is from God. Going to the Associated Press. The Supreme Court enters its final week of work before a long summer hiatus, with action expected on the Trump administration's travel ban and a decision due in a separation of church and state case that arises from a Missouri church playground. The biggest news of all, though, would be if Justice Anthony Kennedy were to use the court's last public session on Monday to announce retirement. Now, as you can see on screen, this is from June 24th, 2017 at 8:10 a.m. Eastern Time from the AP. Let's take a look at a video of Mark Taylor saying this several months ago about the Supreme Court justices and how many Trump would probably be replacing in his two-term presidency.
Well, Mark, very quickly, we've got 5 or 6 minutes. I would love for you just to take this and speak. I mean, tell us what the Lord revealed to you, what happened. Were you shocked when you saw it? Did you say, oh my gosh, this is real, it's really happening? What else did he show you about what's down the road? What has not even happened yet, but yet the Lord spoke to you things about Donald Trump and his presidency? Fill us in on what you can.
Well, real quick, because I know we're short on time here. I wrote a prophetic word February 24th, 2016, that says, do not fear America. And one of the things that the Lord was showing me was that Donald Trump, he was going to use Donald Trump to reform the Supreme Court. Now, Mary can verify this. I went to Mary, and I said, Mary, because I originally said there was going to be 3, but God started dealing with me on it. He said, no, there's going to be 5 Supreme Court justices that Donald Trump's going to put into place. And I told Mary, I said, one's going to die. I said, it's not going to be who they think. I said, one's going to retire, and 3 will have to be removed because of the scandal that they've been caught in. Right. Well, it was like a month later that Scalia had died. And well, the big thing that was going on at that time is they thought Obama was going to be able to put a Supreme Court justice in place before Donald Trump got in.
Right.
And I had prophesied in this prophecy that I wrote that no, God gave 2 signs at Scalia's funeral that said he had reserved that for Donald Trump. So what's going to happen basically in this prophecy talks about that there's going to be 5 Supreme Court justices. One's already died, and of course Gorsuch has been replaced. One will be retiring, and I'm hearing that that's probably imminent right now as we speak. Mm-hmm. And the other 3 will have to wait and see what happens as far as the scandal is concerned. But what's going to happen is when God reforms the court, God himself is going to take on that case called Roe versus Wade, and it will be overturned.
Oh, I pray so. Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing, Mark. And I certainly pray that that is so. And so what are some other things? Very quickly, we got about 45 seconds.
Well, just that the army of God is like Mary was talking about earlier. The army of God is rising up. We're in this transition period. We're coming out of the darkness and into the light. We're introducing light. We're in the dawn right now, that full moon effect, and it's agitating the enemy right now. These are not demonstrations we're seeing. They're demonstrations that are manifesting right now.
Yeah.
So this the light that's being shown by the army of God, by God's people. We are having an impact. We're seeing it. We're seeing it manifest on the streets right now. That's the good news right now.
Earlier, I said this prophecy was from several months ago. Actually, it's from February 24th, 2016. Links are below the video. The Spirit of God says, why do I sense fear in my people about the future of America? Have I not said that I've heard your cries and will heal your land? Stand firm. Do not falter. Put on the full armor of God. Rake the enemy over the coals, for the end time battle is on for my 1 billion souls. The Spirit of God says, do not fear, for my servant Justice Scalia has been taken. For some are crying out, why have I forsaken? For I will show myself strong to prove that the so-called wise are wrong. For some will say that this is a miracle, for I am just getting started. This is not even close to the pinnacle. for what I am going to do with my America. For do not my people have eyes to see and ears to hear the two signs I gave when they carried my servant's body up the steps of the courthouse where to rest he was laid? Read the signs that were for all to see, and understand the words in this prophecy. The Spirit of God says 5, that's right, 5 Supreme Court justices will be appointed by my new president, my anointed. I will choose 5 through my anointed to keep those alive. I will stack the court with those that I choose to send a clear message to the enemy that you lose. This is a miracle that I will perform so that my court will be reformed. The Spirit of God says, the cries that I have heard from the womb have reached my eyes and ears like a sonic boom. The 5 I appoint in the reform that shall take place, the great I Am shall take on the case. For it is my will in my way for all those that have prayed, that my court shall overturn Roe versus Wade. The Spirit of God says, America, get ready, for I am choosing from the top of the cream, for I am putting together America's dream team. From the president and his administration to judges in Congress to ease America's frustrations. The Spirit of God says, rise up, my army, and get into the fight, for this is a generation that's taking flight. This is the generation of warriors that those of old wanted to see, and the enemy will have no choice but to flee. Rise up, stomp the enemy's head with bliss, send the enemy back to hell and into the abyss. This is a generation of warriors that all of hell has feared to face and see, but I am, and all the heaven is cheering you on with glee. Your supreme commander, God. I did not make this video to glorify Mark Taylor or to glorify Donald Trump or any man. This video is not about religion. I don't believe in religion. This video was made to glorify God, to get the message across that God is obviously communicating through a vessel by the name of Mark Taylor, which is a retired fireman. Now, I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. I'm simply here to show you what's going on, and it's right in front of you. Now, we already had one of the Supreme Court justices was murdered. Another one is talking about retiring, and he even goes on to say that there's going to be 3 more that's going to be out due to some sort of scandal that's going to be uncovered. We'll have to wait and see if that takes place. But right now, so far, Mark Taylor has been right about everything he said, and it's all coming to pass succinctly. I report, you decide. The appropriate links are below this video. Please leave your comments below this video and let me know what you think is going on with Mark Taylor. A good discussion is always welcomed here. Thanks for watching.